11 days ago, I put out a video titled, "The Sleeper Cells Have Been Activated." Now, for some reason, a lot of people thought I was over-exaggerating in that video because I've been stressing for months. I've been saying for months in my videos that I believe that we have a lot of sleeper cell agents all across America. These sleeper cell agents are coming from enemy countries. They're pouring freely right across our border. Some of them are coming here legally. They're coming here for school or to work or whatever the excuse is. But we have a lot of people, our enemies, here lying, waiting for the orders to strike. Now, some people still believe that that is an over-exaggeration. That's just a talking point that people use when they're against illegal immigration and things of that nature. But that's not the case, at least not with me. The reason why I talk about this problem so much is because it is a very real problem, and it's a problem that we can try to get ahead of before the attacks start happening. Because they're going to start happening, folks. And in many ways, I think they're already happening. Which is why I put out that video. Now, when I put out that video, like I said, some people felt like I was over-exaggerating. Others felt like I was overreacting to the news at the time. Because, we rung in the new year with 2 different attacks. You had the situation unfold, the horrific situation that unfolded in New Orleans. I don't even want to go into detail about that, but you all know what I'm talking about. The guy driving his car through a crowd of people, and then hours later, we had the Cybertruck explode. So people thought that I was overreacting to that recent news, but I don't think it's an overreaction at all, because guess what? Now, about 10 to 11 days later, just last night, the FBI director, Christopher Wray, which is on the way out of the door, by the way, as our current FBI director is on the way out of the door, going to be replaced in about a week, he decides that he's going to sit down with 60 Minutes, and he does an interview releasing all of this concerning information that he should have been releasing and talking about months ago, years ago. I understand we got a different FBI director now, but these are problems that didn't just pop up overnight. But here we are, 11 days after I made that video about sleeper cells, and now the FBI director is on national television warning Americans that China has sleeper cells all over America. They are strategically placed in key positions, and they're waiting to strike. And folks, he's not just talking about military bases. We know that China has been buying up land all around our military bases. He says that they are already positioned. The sleeper cells are already positioned near critical infrastructure. They're not just going to be targeting military bases or military targets. They're targeting civilian targets. He's talking about, hey, they got sleeper cells waiting to take down public transportation, water treatment facilities, all of these things. And it makes you wonder about what's going on in California right now, because we know that some of those fires are being started by people. And I think a lot of it is purely by design. But before I go any further, because, I'll be accused of over-exaggerating, I want you all to hear from the FBI director so he can tell you the exact same thing I've been telling you all for months. This guy is like 2 years late to the party. Oh, I'm going to tell the Americans about the sleeper cells now, after we called everyone conspiracy theorists for talking about it, over the past 4 years. But whatever. I'm going to roll this clip. Hopefully 60 Minutes doesn't strike my channel down. And then after the clip, I'll be right back with my reaction to what is said, as well as some other concerning news. And I don't know, I'm starting to think that a lot of this stuff that's going on is connected. And I've been feeling that way for a while. But let's roll the clip, and then I'll be right back to explain.
China's cyber program is by far and away the world's largest, bigger than that of every major nation combined. and has stolen more of Americans' personal and corporate data than that of every nation, big or small, combined. But even beyond the cyber theft, there's another part of the Chinese cyber threat that I think has not gotten the attention publicly that it, I think, desperately deserves, and that is Chinese government's pre-positioning on American civilian critical infrastructure to lie in wait on those networks, to be in a position to wreak havoc and can inflict real-world harm at a time and place of their choosing.
The Chinese have already insinuated malware into critical American infrastructure.
That's correct.
Like what?
Things like water treatment plants. We're talking about transportation systems. We're talking about targeting of our energy sector, the electric grid, natural gas pipelines. And recently, we've seen targeting of our telecommunications.
Wow, gee, thanks, FBI director. I guess the argument could be made better late than never, but hell, this is your parting gift. As you are on the way out the door, it's like, hey, bye, America. By the way, sleeper cells are everywhere, and we haven't done anything about it. That's the most concerning part. Oh, you're warning the American people. Yeah, they're all over the place. They're stationed and ready. Well, why aren't you stopping them? Why are you here? You know, when I come and tell you there's sleeper cells everywhere, I'm just a regular person. There's not much I can do about it. I can ring the alarm, I can raise awareness, but I can't go shut down all of these sleeper cells. But here we have the director of the FBI. He's not telling you, oh, this is how we stopped it. We did this, we did that, we're aware of this. No, he's like, yeah, we got sleeper cells everywhere. Okay, so what are you doing to stop it? You got all of this knowledge about bad things people are going to do or could do, but what are you doing to stop it? And this all comes full circle with the FBI public service announcement warning that they just put out last night. I'm not sure how many of you all watched that video, but just yesterday, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security came out and put out a public service announcement warning that there's probably going to be some attacks soon. And they're claiming that the attacks may be directly tied or linked to what happened in New Orleans, which is very, very, I don't know, it made me scratch my head because they've been giving us just mixed stories when it comes to what went down in New Orleans. At first, they said that the guy had accomplices, remember? That oh, he must have been working with a few other people that were helping him plant bombs and all of this stuff. And then they quickly changed the narrative and they said, oh, never mind, it was just the one guy. They literally went from saying this guy had ties, he's got other people helping him, oh, we're looking for other suspects. And then it all came full circle to, oh, no, it's just one guy. Nothing to see here. One lone wolf actor. Who knows what inspired him to do this, right? So they changed their story about that guy and about that whole situation like 3 or 4 times. And then they stressed, hey, this has no connections to the Cybertruck. This guy has no connections to anything else. There are no suspects on the loose. Trust us, guys. Everything is under control. And then last night, they put out a statement saying, hey, it looks like there's going to be upcoming attacks tied to the attack in New Orleans. So wait, which one is it? You just told us this guy was acting alone. He had no ties, no accomplices, no other suspects. He wasn't working with anyone. You just went through that last week. You told us that last week. You told us that everything was under control and safe, right? And it really feels like they told us that just so they could have their college football game, right? That's what it seems like. But they told us, oh, everything's under control. We got everybody. There's no bigger story here. Just a lone wolf actor, nothing to worry about. And now, a week or so later, we got the FBI coming out with a public service announcement. Hey, there's nothing we can do to stop it. Well, we don't know what the hell's going on, but we believe and we know there's threats that people are going to do something crazy. And it's just like the FBI director on the 60 Minutes. Yeah, there's all of these sleeper cells. Well, what in the hell are y'all doing to stop this stuff? Because it doesn't look like y'all are doing anything. You're coming to the public time and time again like, hey, you at work. Hey, you working at Waffle House. Guess what? There's sleeper cells everywhere, and we're going to need you to get done with those hash browns, smother and scatter them, and then go out there and find the evildoers, right? It's like, why are our elected officials and why are the people who are getting paid, in these powerful positions, the FBI director, we shouldn't be hearing from you about problems that you aren't trying to solve. But that's kind of what we get. And this is just what I was explaining in one of my past videos, that this is what we get from the FBI, and no one trusts them anyway. But yeah, we're at a point now, and I said it before, and I'm going to say it again for those of you who may not have heard me. 2025, it seems like the green light has been given. There's bad actors all around this country that are ready to do something insane. They're just ready for the go-ahead. And right now, if you see what's happening in California, I believe a lot of that is by design. I don't think it's a coincidence. And I don't think it's just random homeless people starting these fires. Now, in some cases, yes. In some cases, yeah. There's junkies and homeless people that may have started some of this. But I think this is more of a coordinated attack. I think we have people here from other countries that are paid to cause chaos, to cause mayhem. And literally, the fires in California, they're like the most, I think, expensive disaster we've ever had in America. So you don't need a nuclear bomb. You don't need an airplane like 9/11. These people that hate our country that are here, these sleeper cells, all it takes is a freaking match. And they can go out there and cause just unlimited amounts of damage, especially in places like California, where everything is being mismanaged. And everyone that is running California, most of them are diversity hires that have no idea what they're doing in their job. I mean, you heard the fire chief, I'm not sure how many of you all heard it, but they asked her, hey, do you know where the water comes from? And she's like, no. She has no idea how the water even gets to her fire hydrants. So yeah, all it takes is a match and some flames and going to one of these woke areas where they're trying to save the smelt fish so there's no water. And all of the firefighters are diversity hires that look at you like you're crazy when it comes time for them to save you. Yeah, all it takes is something like that to destroy a whole town. And LA has been basically decimated, or a large portion of it. So I think that we are at this point where these sleeper cells are starting to be activated. It's not a conspiracy. It's not far-fetched. Our border has been wide open, and these people have been here for a while. And like I said, some of the ones coming from China, they're not coming here illegally. A lot of them are coming here legally. And some of them have already been arrested for spying on our military bases and stuff with drones. So, I mean, we're at a point where America has been totally invaded. Like, we've been invaded. There was no fight, there was no war, no skirmish. Our enemies silently invaded us. And it might not be tomorrow, it might not be the next day, it might not be next month, it might not be next year, but when the time comes that we get into a full-scale conflict with China or one of these other countries, then we're going to see, the full scope of what's going on here. Because when I say there are thousands upon thousands of these sleeper cells, I mean it. And in some of these countries, I think there's more sleeper cells than actual military. Like some of these Western countries, not necessarily the US, but some of these other countries, our allies abroad, they have more sleeper cell agents in their country than they do actual military personnel. So I think that we are on a very slippery slope here. And I'm hoping that something is done and we see changes very soon. I think that's what the majority of America voted for. I'm not sure if we're going to get it, but we'll see. But as of right now, keep your eyes and ears open. Keep your head on a swivel. if I were you, I wouldn't be going to all of these big, events with a bunch of people outdoors, because those are going to be obvious targets. And I mean, I'm really concerned about the inauguration, all of these other events Donald Trump has planned. I'm concerned about the Super Bowl. It's just a lot of stuff on the horizon, and I think that we need to be prepared for whatever. And it seems like the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, they're telling us something's going to happen, folks. Something's going to happen. They're basically letting you know now that something's going to happen. And I don't know, it doesn't look like they're going to stop it. So we'll see. We'll see. I just always expect that I'm going to wake up to some crazy news, and I'm hoping that's not the case. But for now, you all let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.